We're now on to the second fundamental choice that comprises entrepreneurial strategy, and that is to choose your technology. The question we've got to ask is, it's fundamentally about how do we create value, and what technology gets used to underpin that value. Now, it's very important to realize that it is often the case that there's some technological underpinning for the entire idea of the venture, such as you are going to apply machine learning to something, or you are going to be online. That's already built into the core idea. But above and beyond that are other technological choices, often centered around how you might deliver a product to customers, or whether you might be mobile first or something else. Those choices are ones that we're talking about here. So the question that you have to think about when you're choosing a technology is not just what it can do today, but what it can do in the future. Your startup is not going to be fully formed out of the gate. It's going to evolve over time. And moreover, various technologies that might be part of it will have to grow with the company. The question is, and it'll be a fundamental one, is whether you build on an existing technology or maybe you try a trajectory or something else that is new. And there are trade-offs in those decisions. So the question is that we're going to answer today, or try to answer today, how can I choose my technology and choose a technological strategy to advance my technological trajectory to advance my entrepreneurial strategy? Of course, there's a part of it that what you're dealing with here, with these technology choices, is not actually inventing something new. That's hopefully your core idea. What you're doing is you're taking advantage of technologies that are out there and you're applying them to your business. And so this William Gibson quote is famous of that, is the future is already here. It's not very evenly distributed. What he means is that there are technologies out there, they just haven't been applied to all their domains. And that is something that your venture may well be doing. To give you an example of this, of a choice of technology that's fundamental, there was a time, a decade or so ago, that Elon Musk and his cousins were driving to Burning Man, and they had an idea to create a efficient or renewable energy business. And they debated in the car ride whether to use solar power or wind power to do that. Now, the reason I bring that up is it seems funny that these things seem so vastly different. But really what they were saying is we want to be in the business of making it easy for consumers and households to use renewable energy. And that's a tough call because currently everybody's wired to an electricity grid. And so being able to have simple processes, they thought was the barrier to the adoption of these things. So they had ideas of both solar and wind power, and there were some trade-offs between them. And what this illustrates, they obviously ended up choosing solar power and formed a company called Solar City that offered a turnkey approach to putting on solar panels on houses. This company just recently was acquired by Tesla and now is part of that entire makeup. But the interesting part about it was quite a commitment. If you chose solar, you'll go to VCs and other people and say solar is the future, and you'll make that case. If it turns out to be wrong, it's going to be hard for you, and I mean by you individually, to go back and say, I was wrong, can you give me money for wind instead? That's a tough call. This illustrates why technology choices, because they require a lot of resources, also carry along with them certain commitments. And you may recall that we discussed that when you are choosing amongst alternative entrepreneurial strategies, you have to take into account whether a choice in one direction is going to foreclose other opportunities. With technology, that can often be the case. Now, one of the key issues with technology is forecast. When is it going to work? So what I have shown you here is an early self-driving car. As you can see, it looks a bit bolted together. It also wasn't very good. Let me play you a video.
Virginia Tech's Cliff. See you, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen from Caltech. See you. University of Louisiana Lafayette's Angel Bob. And off we go with Paramax, ladies and gentlemen. 32,000 pound, 6-wheel military vehicle. This is a wire demonstration. And off we go. Good try, guys.
That was 2004. So could you have predicted that in just 13 years we would actually have at least semi-self-driving cars on the road? I think that would be quite a stretch. Now, clearly, what happened next time, and by next time I mean 10 or 11 years later, was something like this. We had Google come in, and with self-driving cars, been on the road now for 5-6 years. But even the traditional car makers are doing the same thing now. For instance, you have this by Mercedes. They believe they're close.